Hey, everybody, coming at you with the much longer version of my thoughts on this movie for those who want a longer processing where I just need to sit and myself and talk about this movie beyond the minute long version. It's just this movie's got my head spinning. It was so good and so many themes. Um, where to even begin? I had to look up afterwards because it felt like a stage play, right? And so I looked it up, and sure enough, it was an off Broadway show. Got nominated for Obies, and Alicia Harris did this right and direct. And not every play translates well to the screen. This one does so perfectly. The way the acts are laid out, the the heightened drama, the suspense, and it did. I when I was in New York last month for my solo spring break trip as a teacher. I went to see Joe Turner's Come and Gone, August Wilson's play, and I felt a lot of that kind of feeling in this as well. That play has a lot of, searching for identity, good versus evil, the nature of your past seeping up through the cracks. And, they use lightning on stage. And this movie was like lightning across the movie theater into my brain. So I was drawn to this movie definitely from the trailers. And, we're on our way to seeing 100 movies this year. So I've seen a lot of movies. And so I've seen this trailer quite a bit. And it was at the top of my list to go and see for a lot of different reasons. One, it looks Southern Gothic, and if you know me, I love Southern Gothic movies. The moss on the trees, what can happen in the shadowy woods. I took a solo road trip in October through the South and kind of freaked myself out a lot because I've read a lot of Cormac McCarthy Southern Gothic novels. Like my favorite one is Outer Dark, and if you've never read that book is unsettling. So if you get a chance to read it, and this movie definitely has its moments of Southern Gothic subtleness. And that's when I think about movies I've seen recently. That's one of the reasons that I was drawn to Sinners originally too. On my way to seeing it four times, I love Sinners too. Because of that Southern Gothic flair, like you never know what's going to happen, right? The open spaces with the white clapboard churches, but also what may come out of the woods and the trees and the old forests and swamps. Perfect setting. And this, across the road trip across the South in this movie. Big fan of the revenge road trip movies. So I felt a lot of the Coen brothers in the trailer drew me to this, where I felt like, I love Driveway Dolls. I felt like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was in this. I love the Tarantino aspect of revenge, finding different characters along the way, and like Kill Bill. And so this trailer, like everything. And then, of course, Sterling K. Brown showed up in the trailer, and yep, sold. If you haven't seen him in American Fiction from a couple of years ago, you need to go see that movie too. And just as a This Is Us fan and every other thing that he's been involved with, and in this movie, he is maniacal and just soulless through his eyes. You're like, what is happening? So good. So yeah, a lot of reasons I want to go see it. From the theater version, from the trailer. Again, yeah, so explained it all to you. The movie itself has so many layers that as you watch this, you think, gosh, it's not just a Southern Gothic movie. It's not just a thriller. It's not just kind of a grindhouse movie. Although, like, the last 20 minutes are going to surprise you if you saw the drama and the way that the drama did as well. The escalation of conflict or Send Help this year. There's been so many of these good movies this year that have just had me and the audience around me just jumping up on the edge of our seats from this movie. Oh, the beauty of it, the shots that she does, reminded me a lot of what I love about Wes Anderson too. Like there's a shot in the beginning setting up the plot exposition of these twin sisters who both live through a traumatic event in their childhood that disfigured them more or less. And so they're sitting with their backs on a bench as children, and you hear children mocking them. And one of them gets up, goes over, and off camera just beats the other kids with like a tennis racket or something. and felt very Wes Anderson like, which I also thought was super cool. Like, I'm thinking definitely Alicia Harris is going to be one of my favorite directors if she keeps making movies, and she definitely should. So good. Um, but the framing of the story, the dialogue between them, the unspoken words between them, where it's written on the screen and type, was great. The narrative of it, how do you translate a play to the screen, and it's so good. And just the moving along the road and meeting different characters, very hero's journey, very Wizard of Oz. Just again, go Coen Brothers, or Brother Are You, but also mythology, right? Just the narrative of way stories get told. And so you get this feeling that the story is also a story about good and evil. Their mother, played by Vivica Fox, who they call God, I think his character named She, is they enter kind of into her sanctuary, and the wallpaper reminds you of being like Garden of Eden, and she's being seen to by guardian angel nurses who are taking care of her hair and her nails, and despite her being, where she's at, um, and they get sent on the quest to destroy the evil of Sterling K. Brown, um, who is this, like I said, just soulless creature that lives in shadows. He's good and evil, but it's almost like the idea of God versus God, Job being tested, right? So it's biblical. It's biblical, it's Greek mythological, because he's like Zeus, right? He's just going around. He's just having babies with everybody, marrying everybody. So he marries, Erica Alexander's character, who is this super out there Pentecostal preacher. I love her, and oh man, I just going back to living single back in the '90s, and she does a phenomenal job too as this preacher waiting for him to return. So he has kids with her, and that whole scene in the church, it reminded me of Oh Brother We're Out There, but also the beginning and end bookmarks of Sinners, picking up from that point. Um, Ultimately marrying Janelle Monáe's character, and she as kind of, oh wow, and the time that she's with us in the movie and her scenes, she's incredible as a very Stepford Whitey creepy, right? Separate wife creep. Um, so good. And just everybody, and the themes of, can you kill Zeus, despite Zeus not concerning himself with the mortals, right? He does concern himself a lot with his sons. And so there's a whole kind of concept of masculinity versus femininity in this, race, racial politics, uh, this idea of, have we destroyed ourselves, and can we fix ourselves? And the idea of planting seeds for the future. If we raise our children differently in the future, can we have a new world reborn? And again, not all this is explicitly said. It's just my thoughts processing over this film. Um, yeah, I just, it was good to see Vivica Fox in this too, to get it pulled back Kill Bill, and the fight that her and Uma Thurman have in the breakfast kitchen. Great. Just, it's so good. Everybody. And Michael T. Williamson is in this, and he is such a ray of sunshine in this movie for the time that we have him in the movie, playing this lawyer without a tongue. And I've loved him ever since. I can't even think back to how far Soul of the Game was when he played my all-time favorite baseball player, Josh Gibson. And I think that's the first time I saw Delroy Lindo, too, playing Satchel Paige. Love that movie. Love this movie. He being brought in, if you haven't seen him in 12 Angry Men as well, William Friedkin version of it. Oh, wow. Everybody in this is just enhances the movie all that much more, builds it to a new level. New level. And like I said, Kara Young, and Mallory Johnson, carrying this as twin sisters, carrying a burden, and kind of the yin and yang of their twinness, right? Again, reminded me a lot of Sinners too, in being separate but still being connected, and what you would do for your family. And quintessential revenge road trip movie with so much spiritual layers, so much philosophy, so much mythology. Definitely go see this movie. It's rattling my brain.